Hello and welcome to all you Librans. Yes, this is another video of the yearly horoscopes, but a little bit different. So definitely check out the other video for the Librans. That is a more general kind of video, but this one is more in particular me having a look at the degree of your sun sign in Libra, your moon sign in Libra, or your ascendant sign. And all the outer planets like Pluto, Neptune, and so on. What are they doing? What are they doing for your sign specifically? And let's get started with the good news. And I'm almost out of breath because I just went up some stairs to get a little bit of water. But anyway, let's get started, dear Librans. Pluto in your 5th house. Now, this is a big thing. Pluto is going to be in Aquarius, in a fellow air sign, so it's making a trine to your energy. So yes, all Librans are going to feel that trine very smoothly energy. It's still Pluto though, which is about transformation, which is about more authenticity, more realness. But it's, of course, you're going to feel it more if you're going to have planets at the early beginning of Libra. So Pluto goes into Aquarius for the whole of 2024, just up until 2 degrees. So from 0, 1, and 2 degrees of Aquarius. So early born Librans who've got planets between 0, 1, and 2 degrees of Libra, you're going to have a trine to Pluto, which is amazing, right? So these are the Librans, the early born Librans. So they are having a birthday in September. The ones who are born on the 23rd, 24th, 25th of September. They are going to feel this Pluto specifically. And that is amazing because it's supporting your 5th house of expressiveness, of creation, of love, of children, projects that you want to do, the way how you express yourself. Starting your own business, for instance, is also a 5th house thing. So this is good for, but Pluto suggests, even if it's a trine, that there is that death and rebirth energy. So something first, an old paradigm needs to go before you can do it, right? So there is fear involved here. Pluto is about fear. And if you go through the barrier of fear, you win. You get up a level, and many levels with Pluto. The biggest levels up. For sure, because Pluto is the furthest away, it's most challenging to tackle that energy. So especially those of you with the early degrees, but also everyone, but let's say you are single, this could mean a new love coming in. You know, Pluto is drastic change, right? And it's the love department, and it's going to be Plutonic, right? So it wants to get out all the weeds that has to do with toxicity, manipulation, all the triggers that you can think of, right? So people who are single could be meeting someone who's very mesmerizing, charismatic, sexual, or powerful in some sort of way. For instance, sexual, powerful, or exuding a lot of sexual energy, or exuding a lot of knowledge, money, whatever it is that you are going to be attracted to. But it is to transform you, to transform the idea of love that has nothing to do with manipulation, that has nothing to do with seduction, that has nothing to do with, I'm going to draw you in. No, that has to do with realness, that has to do with trust. If it has to happen, it will happen. So it's like, those stories of being very drawn to someone, but trusting that if they see you, they will see you. You know, it's that kind of energy. It could also mean that there could be some obsessions here coming up. But again, because this is trining your energy, it's not going to be harmful, and it's not going to feel like your life is like, you don't have it in control anymore. But it could be life-changing for sure. Like maybe you are already passionately trying to get a baby, for instance. And now with this Pluto entering your 5th house, it's trining your energy. It's there. The transformation happens. So because, of course, these are general horoscopes, but because it is a trine to your energy, it's still Pluto, right? It's still that intense energy, but it's in a trine. So it means that you have the feet on the ground. It's not going to be so unsettling as it would have been like a square or something, or a conjunction or an opposition. So very important there for the Librans, and a bit more adding to the intensity for sure. And also the concept of love, you've got many, many years to come to transform your idea around love, and to the true powerful idea of love, which is love doesn't dictate, right? It's not about we force things, or we are magnetic. We are drawing in because we trust. That is this Pluto in your 5th house. That is going to be your superpower. It's going to be your superpower when it comes to your own creations, your own businesses, and so on. Very exciting stuff. Neptune stays in your 6th house, and it's not really making an aspect, so I'm not going to get into that too much. But Neptune in your 6th house means that Neptune, of course, is an energy of go with the flow. And the 6th house, it's actually, Neptune is not really kind of matching there, because the 6th house wants routines, it wants work, and then Neptune is, oh yeah, I'll wake up at 10. We'll see. So it's a bit more difficult for discipline with Neptune there. But if you kind of go with the flow, and if you're doing your stuff and you're going with the flow and you're keeping your balance, Neptune in the 6th can be very good for Neptunian jobs. So what is Neptunian jobs? It's creative jobs. And of course, Libra is a very creative sign. It's a very artistic sign. It's ruled by Venus. So you could be entering, in your career, maybe more the fine arts, or more a career that is related to creativity, that you have to express in some kind of way, and that you're doing something for the collective as well. That's also very Neptunian. Then Jupiter-Uranus is in your 8th house. Yes, so the 8th house where Taurus is, and Jupiter, the first 5 months of the year, it's going to be also in that house. So especially in March, April, Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus for your 8th house is wonderful. But it's more on a level that other people are not knowing what's going on. The 8th house is, first of all, a money house. So it could mean that money comes to you through others, whether it is a tax return, whether it is an inheritance, whether it is money that you invested and now you're getting the dividends. All of that is the 8th house. So it's good to, or it could simply mean when you are living with a person, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, they could have a raise in their money, for instance, and that you are benefiting from that as well. It's also Jupiter-Uranus on another level, a very psychological expansion. So you understanding yourself better with flashes. And because of that, you are getting more powerful. You are getting more, having more an interest in the occult, having more an interest in life after death, for instance, that kind of thing. And exploring that, growing, learning about that, teaching about that, maybe you yourself. And then Jupiter goes into Gemini, which is again going to trine your energy. So as from the 25th of May and onwards, Jupiter will be in Gemini in your 9th house, which is going to expand your horizons. So you could be traveling more, writing, teaching, learning. Your view of life becomes way more optimistic. The glass is all full. So you see, in 2024, a lot of Librans will have a lot of positive trines of big planets like Jupiter and Pluto, which is amazing. It doesn't always have to be like, the the long squares that a lot of you had. Talking about squares, a very small percentage, but that's only one very small percentage, will still have Pluto square to your sun sign, moon sign, ascendant sign, if you have planets on 29 degrees of Libra. So that's a very small percentage of you out there, but they are still going through, particularly in September, October, and November time, going through that. There could be some crises going on with your emotions. So, or with literally your home, your ancestors. There's something going on there that needs to get out in the open again so that it can be healed, transformed, so that your foundation is stronger. Right? But again, that's only a very small percentage of you out there. Saturn is also in your sixth house for the whole year. So we already talked there about Neptune, but Saturn is there as well. So which is the opposite energy. So it's not really making an aspect to you, but it is a lot about discipline as well. So you've got on the one hand Neptune that doesn't want to wake up very early, for instance, and then Saturn who's saying yes, but you have to. So there could be like this paradox going on with you. But the thing is, timeshare, do one day the Neptune and the other day the Saturn, for instance. If you have your own business, you can do that. Of course, if you work for someone, you can't. There are rules there. And there could be that, Saturn in the sixth house can mean that you feel very restricted, Saturn in the sixth house is a lot of discipline. And, when you have that in your natal chart, it means your upbringing was very, cool. Use it in your advantage, that coolness. Use it to improve to do some mastery at your work, for instance, to improve your administration, for instance, to make more structure in it, to slow things down there, but to improve the quality of it. On another level, your health, if there has been a health issue, there could be the Neptunian vibe there, like you don't know what it is. And then the Saturn is like, yeah, but you have to follow those rules to improve yourself. The best thing you can do is indeed to timeshare, to make sure that you have good habits. Saturn means about discipline, and but also to not go overboard with it, right? Of course, last but not least, I'm only mentioning the eclipses for Aries and also for your sign, because you're going to have those eclipses, of course. So let's talk about that. The eclipses are all about, for you with the South Node, to get rid of that negative Libra, right? Every sign has a negative side and a positive side. But with the South Node, you'd better do, you could say, finish up with the not so good side of the Libra side, which is, we know it all, the Librans, they are very people pleasing, and that could cause like other people think of you that you're manipulative or that you're a hypocrite or whatever. Not judging the Librans here, not at all. But with the South Node there, and especially on the 25th of March, if you've got planets around 5 degrees of Libra, because that's a lunar eclipse there, you can kind of shed off that skin of not doing that anymore, of being less people pleasing, of being less trying to find validation of other people, basically, just because you want to validate and you're not validating yourself enough. That's basically it. So that all this is just, you say goodbye to that. Another eclipse on the 2nd of October, the sun and the moon together at 10 degrees. That is a big one. That means an ending and a new beginning of an old identity. So that could be you, but it could be anything really. It could mean, for instance, that, yes, you finished up a study and you're having a diploma and now you're not a student anymore. Now you're in the real life. You're going to have to work, for instance. But it can be in other things as well. Relationship-wise, it can mean that old you, you're so done with it that your relationships are going to reflect that some of them cannot stay, or maybe others will enter your world now. You see? So you decide there. You decide, of course. together with someone else. And so on a relationship level, it's important. And new relationships can come to the horizon for sure. But also, if you're single, for instance, an old way of doing relationships can really go, so that you can go for the new way of relating. And that is on the 8th of April. You're going to have a solar eclipse in Aries at 19 degrees. So if you've got 19 degrees of Libra, because you shed off that skin, you're going to attract new people that are matching up with you. Not that they are better or worse. It's not about that. It's on a different level that you are operating now. So these dates are very important. Or around and about those dates, it's a really important year for Librans. But I think if you're really focusing on shedding off that skin, and not like I'm bad or anything, but like, yes, it has had its purpose, but now it's done. That's not me anymore. You're going to attract new people in your life. You're going to attract very exciting energies into your life with that Aries energy, those eclipses there. And you're going to have lots of opportunities with the Jupiter in your 9th house and with Pluto also in a good aspect. All in all, Librans are one of the signs that are having the most opportunities. So take them. Have a very good year. Bye-bye.